This is LGR, London Greek Radio.
Κατέβασε τη δωρεάν εφαρμογή του London Greek Radio από το App Store για iOS και Google Play για Android και συντονίσου. London Greek Radio 103,3. Μας φέρνει πιο κοντά.
LGR 103,3 FM, ελληνικό ραδιόφωνο Λονδίνο. Είμαι η Βασούλα Χριστοδούλου. Today on LGR, we are joined by Steve Hardman, Police Relationship Manager and Road Traffic Officer, to talk about the safety of Britain's roads. New research shows over half of people feel unsafe driving on the local roads. Potholes, confusing signs, and driver behaviour are all part of the problem. Steve, welcome to the show. So why do you think confidence is dropping so sharply?
Oh, hi, yes, good morning. I think, as you say, with the statistics there, the research that Slater and Gordon conducted have provided some worrying statistics, really. You know, over half of drivers feel not confident in driving on the roads due to a manner of things, potholes being one. As you pointed out, you know, it's quite widely reported the state of the UK roads. But there's a few concerns, and they stem from both objective risks and psychological factors. And a big one for me, I was a roads policing officer with Lancashire Police for 30 years, and I saw the devastating consequences of driver behaviour, things like speeding, mobile phone use, impairment through drink or drugs, some quite worrying statistics coming out.
Right. So, do you think there are certain areas, certain roads that are more dangerous than others?
Not necessarily the roads being more dangerous. Obviously, the state of repair of a number of the roads across the UK are of a concern, and we'll all know those roads where potholes are you know, more evident than others. But obviously, the younger road users, statistics from the Department for Transport will say that younger road users, drivers under the age of 25, are having more collisions on rural roads with a speed limit of 60 miles per hour. So, yeah, rural roads and fast roads are coming out statistically more dangerous than others.
So almost half of people avoid certain routes because they feel too dangerous, they don't feel safe. What does that tell us about local infrastructure?
It tells us that, exactly that 54% of the people that we surveyed feel unsafe using the roads in their area due to dangerous conditions, potholes, poor states of repair. And for that reason, you know, 43% of those people surveyed say they would cycle more if the roads were safer, suggesting poor quality, discouraging greener and healthier transport choices.
Now, Steve, although this is not included in the new research, but we do hear many people saying that many drivers say roads are becoming confusing as well with the new traffic separation posts for bicycles, speed limits changing from 20 to 30 within short distance and back again, constant roadworks with temporary sides. Do you think this is adding to the anxiety or danger, if you like?
Absolutely. We all know those roads, those junctions, those confusing roundabouts where the direction for travel is often painted on the road and not always visible from signs. And as you know, when it's dark and wet, then that road marking and that road sign and direction for travel isn't always as easily visible and can cause confusion. So absolutely 100% I agree with that.
Thank you. And aside from road conditions, what are the biggest worries when it comes to driver behaviour?
Driver behaviour, a big area of concern. Excuse me. You know, we saw Operation Limits, which was the police drink drive campaign for Christmas last year, which ran just for 1 month from December 24 to January 25. 58,500 roadside tests were conducted across the UK. Worryingly, 9.7% of them tested positive for alcohol, but more an increasing statistic, 42% of them detected for using drugs, with just less than 7,000 people arrested in that 1 month. So more people are taking risks, drinking alcohol, taking drugs and driving, which is worrying. Especially as we're coming up to the Christmas period now. You know, last week was Road Safety Week through Break, the Road Safety charity. it shouldn't just be a week where we concentrate on road safety. It's everyone's responsibility. 365 days every year, we've got to be increasing our awareness on the roads, not speeding, not using our mobile phone, wearing our seatbelt and driving within the limits.
Also, eating and drinking. How do you think this can affect the safety on the roads? Because some of the drivers admitted that they do eat and drink while they are behind the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not concentrating 100% on the road ahead, then it's a major distraction. Even though it's not illegal in the UK, the evidence shows that eating or drinking whilst driving, although it's not specifically banned, it affects your control of the vehicle. And not having the specific legislation to say it's illegal, but you could be charged with causing driving carelessly or considerate driving, which can result in a fine. But you're concentrating on opening that packet of crisps, having that drink. You're veering off the road ever so slightly, even that could cause catastrophic consequences.
So we should not eat or drink while we're behind the wheel. It's safer for us and for everyone else, of course.
Absolutely. Eating and drinking whilst driving increases the likelihood of a collision by up to 80%. And those drivers who eat are 3 times more likely to be involved in a crash. So, yeah, absolutely. We should be concentrating 100% on the road ahead.
3 in 4 people think young drivers should face tighter restrictions, and many also believe that older drivers need more oversight. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I've been involved quite heavily with a number of campaigns around both older and younger road users. I was involved in a fatal collision investigation in Lancashire only last year, where the driver of the vehicle failed the eyesight test considerably. So as a result of that, there's a lot of things being put in place through the local coroner. Further prevention of further deaths report was submitted, and the government are now looking at making eyesight tests more comprehensive to ensure that older road users are capable and safe to drive. But again, the younger road users, there is a call for graduated driving licences, as many of your listeners will have heard, about putting restrictions on younger road users, about not having peer-aged passengers in their car, not driving after a certain time at night, to reduce that risk.
So what kind of additional measures would be realistic or, let's say, effective, in your opinion?
So things for like the graduated driving licence for younger road users. So a minimum learning period before taking the test. As I said, passenger limits, banning peer-age passengers, curfews to avoid high-risk hours. We've seen the collisions, as we said before, younger road users on rural roads at night is a worrying increase in statistic. We've seen graduated driving licences introduced in Canada and Australia, and the reduction in casualties of those people killed or seriously injured has been significant, and it is definitely something that I think the government in the UK should consider.
For anyone listening who feels unsafe on the roads, Steve, what practical steps can they take to feel more confident? And also, may I say, I've mentioned before about the speed limit, where is 20? If we follow that, is 20. But many people, they know where is the cameras, so they are putting pressure on you to go faster. What advice can you give to this kind of occasion?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen the results from Wales of the reduction of speed limits in towns and villages to 20 miles per hour and how that's worked. But yeah, we see all the time those people that adhere to that 20 mile an hour speed limit get bullied or flashed at by travelling vehicles behind. So my advice would be just to find a safe place to pull in, let the vehicles behind pass you, and then when it's safe to do so, just carry on your journey. But if people are feeling unsafe on the road, then there's a few things that you can do to reduce that anxiety. Plan ahead, choose familiar routes where possible, check your weather and traffic conditions before leaving, and avoid peak congestion times if you can. And it's just about that, staying focused, trying to remain calm, especially when you've got other people who are rushing or trying to force you to go faster. Things like maintaining a safe distance. We've heard from the age-old saying of only a fool breaks the 2-second rule, and just give extra space to vulnerable road users, people like cyclists, pedestrians, motorcyclists. And if people are worried, then there's lots of charities and agencies that can give you advice and tips on driving, things like the Institute of Advanced Motorists or Royal Society of Prevention of Collisions or Accidents, ROSPA. They can provide additional training to make you feel a bit more confident if that's something that you would like to consider.
Thank you, Steve Hardman, for joining us today and sharing these insights. Road Safety Week reminds us all to stay vigilant, drive responsibly, and push for safer roads for everyone. Stay safe out there. Thank you, Steve, again for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is LGR, London Greek Radio.
Ο αγαπημένος σου ελληνικός σταθμός στα social media. Ακολούθησέ μας στο Instagram και στο TikTok, βρες μας στο Twitter και κάνε like στη σελίδα μας στο Facebook London Greek Radio.